And Yogi says, male 35 Korea, hello Mehran, have you been heartbroken? Oh, of course. Who hasn't? If so, how did you deal with it? I didn't think of it as something to deal with. I just suffered and then continued my duties and responsibilities at the worst time of it. I never lost sight of what I had to accomplish and am responsible for at that particular day or days, whichever day it was. I always did what I had to do, did not relinquish my responsibilities or duties, or took a break off of them to cry, or simply said, well, I have an excuse, I can relinquish those plans or accomplishments or projects or responsibilities. No, I just suffered and went through it. It's like you're walking and suddenly you're not prepared, but storm comes, rain comes. What do? You can't run away from the rain. It's raining. Everywhere is raining and there's no place to go and hide. So you gotta go through it. Continue the path that you were on toward the destinations that you had set out to get to, and just brave it. Brave it and go. Sometimes it's nighttime and there are puddles and ditches and stuff in front of you, and it's raining at the same time. But you have to go through that distance. You can't come up with excuses and then thinking those excuses, because you're suffering, because it's a difficult or uncomfortable situation, then the rain would have to not be. The rain will be there and your responsibilities are there, so you make a choice. Am I going to let this, what is happening, actually affect and harm my goals that has nothing to do with the relationship? Or would I, despite of the pain that I'm going through because of the breakup or whatever it is that I'm feeling at that moment, I still recognize that I have to do what needs to be done in other tangents of my life. One of the worst breakups that I had was when I was in military. And I remember, I don't know if I've told you this story, I think I have. I remember that was a real sad situation. And I was in a foxhole, night training. We had our rifles and everything, and we were doing the drill. And I was in one of the foxholes, and my pals were on the other foxholes. They could hear me. I think they heard me cry. And now I know why I was crying. Then I didn't know why I was crying. The fact that I was on a path to a certain destination or certain decided outcome, and it wasn't happening to the way I wanted it. I wasn't so focused. Of course, I was focused on the relationship, but that wasn't the pain. The pain is mostly about what you wanted it to be, which is not going to be, which turns to be very personal, which affects you in your mind about your values and your ability to see through a plan, which translates into a certain kind of a failure in the outcome, which the failure brings guilt, thinking what was your guilt in this, which translates into dissatisfaction of someone towards you, which you're conditioned since childhood to be pleasing to others. Now, this is contrary to have been, as you have been conditioned. You have obviously are in default of not fulfilling your conditioning, which is to be pleasant or to be pleasing, or because you're going through something that is not going to give you the result that you want. And we happen to see these sort of events in our lives as the way we're conditioned to see them. You see, we're conditioned to negotiate life through problems. Since childhood, we are conditioned to live with problems, meaning problems signifies normality. So we are actually seeing everything as problem, and problem has become a motivation for us to take action, to make an effort. If we don't see a problem in something, we won't do anything. We're conditioned to see everything as problem. Life has become a problem. Why? Remember when you were a kid, you were sent to school. You didn't know how to read and write. So reading and writing, learning it was a problem. Maybe you were just simply not interested in a class even after you learned reading and writing, which was a problem. But let's say you overcame that and you're in a different class, but you're not interested in what the teacher is teaching. And you're just daydreaming out of the window. And that the teacher comes and pulls your ear, or, nowadays they can't touch you. They just, tell you, hey. And they make you to pay attention, so you come to it and you start following their direction, which says, do this, do that, write it this way, listen, and so on. It's a problem because it's against what you want to do. But through all that scenarios, through childhood, we have learned that problem is normality. So we see everything as problem. And it's okay. We don't think of a problem as a fact. We think of a problem or an event or something that is contrary to what we want as something to be dealt with, rather than this is what it is. And let's just continue my life, whatever it is that I'm supposed to be doing. Look, if you want to put a nail into a wood and you have a hammer, you hit it, it goes in, you hit it, it goes in, you hit the next one, it doesn't go in. But you don't think about it. It says still hammer, nail, and the wood. It's hard wood. So I hammer it more. You don't think of it as a problem. You just go through it, brave it. You make more efforts and make it happen. But when it comes into life, you see yourself separated from the fact. In other words, if you go through the breakup, you try to deal with it, look at it as a problem because of what we just talked about, and now you want to consult yourself as a separate entity. In other words, you think you're different than the person who's going through the breakup, who's feeling the heartbreak. But it is you, but you're outside, you see yourself outside of the situation, and you want to see how I can manage it. Instead of simply letting go, seeing these things as problem, seeing it as fact that is happening and it's happened, and consider that you are the same as what has happened, then there's nothing to do with it. There's no reason to handle it. If you see yourself separated from the heartbreak, now you want to help it so the heartbreak will go away. But when you see yourself as the same person who's been rejected or has been broken up with or going through the feeling of what you're going through, then you see it as a happening, fact. And you don't have to see it as a problem to deal with it, solve it, and come up with solution for it. You just see it for what it is. Like, I'm going, it's raining, I still gotta go, so I go. But then it's like saying, oh, it's raining. How can I not let myself to be soaked? What should I do so I won't be soaked? But it's like you is here trying to solve a problem for somebody else. But it's all you. Just It's raining on you, but you still have to do what you got to do. So go do it. Don't look at it as a problem that now you have to solve it before you continue the rest of the journey. Same thing with heartbreak. It's heartbreak. You still do your living. Go through it. Brave it through. Not stop it, try to solve it. What do you want to try to solve? It's a fact. It happened. It's raining. You want to stop the rain before you can continue? No. Recognize it's raining. Okay, I'm going to get wet. I am wet. But yet I can still walk and go. I am hurting. It's a heartbreak. It's a breakup. It's a rejection. But why should I look at it as a problem? It's part of life. So it's like a conditioning of the weather. It's raining. It's sunny. It's part of the day. I still go. So it's part of life. It's breakup. I still go. In a nutshell, it's a lot more to talk about rejection or how to handle it. But I think this would do for now. Otherwise, I'll be talking for God knows how long.